Hello and welcome to the Omnic Fallout. We are your hosts, UniEdge and Nymphadora. This is a podcast about Overwatch and all things Blizzard. How are you doing today, Nymphadora?
I'm good. I'm good.
Whew, man, this week was a long week. I don't know why I felt that way, but today we're going to be talking about Pharah and all things related to her and news from all over Battle.net. And there's a lot going on with E3 this week. It's just so much going on. We're not even going to touch most of E3. Needless to say that I think most people can agree Sony won E3 this year again. Like I know me and my friends were like dry heaving and in tears and like just it was rough.
Over the Gods of War stuff.
No, not just that, like just the Sony press release in general was so insane. Like it was just trailer after trailer after trailer, and I never thought I'd actually be into playing a Call of Duty game again, but I think I might play Infinite Warfare because that new trailer that they just showed shows everything that they want it to be, and it looks absolutely amazing. It does not look like a Call of Duty game when you look at it.
I saw I saw the one for the virtual reality one where you are an eagle and you use
Hmm.
your head as basically the mouse.
Yeah, the
And
Oculus one,
yeah, oh
Eagle
my
Flight. Yeah.
god, that looked so cool. I was like, all right,
Hmm.
that would sell me on the VR stuff because the way that it was playing, like it looked like it was really well thought out and really, really well put together. Uh,
You should have saw the Resident Evil one. The Resident Evil one was so freaking cool. Like it did again. That's another thing. Well, they've already come out and say that that's not going to be part of the game. But what they showed was a VR demo of Resident Evil 7, and dang, it looks freaky.
I I get I have a hard time watching E3 because to me it gets a little boring because a lot of them don't know how to really present stuff.
That's why that's why I only ever watch the press conferences. So like the Ubisoft one,
Yeah.
the Sony one, the Sony one, like you knew it was going to be epic from the second they started because the first thing you saw was a live orchestra
Oh,
playing.
that's right. Yeah, I got to see like maybe 5 seconds of that, and then I had to go stream for the girl streamers. So I wasn't able to watch the actual press release, but I got to see
uh
the aftermath.
like all me and my friends like Wicked, which is Twan and it everybody in his channel we were watching and it was literally insane. Like,
Nice. I did like the Zelda stuff that came out. I mean, I feel like
Breath of the Wild, right? Yeah.
yeah, it looked pretty. Uh, but it looked like it wasn't quite done yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, the reason is they went stylized with it.
Yeah, they did. They did a lot because it doesn't look like it looks like the graphics are just a little underrated. Like they're just not even they're a little under what they should be in my opinion with what is available out there for graphics. Uh, and I don't know if
And
that was
again,
a
this
choice.
you also have to take into account that this is going to be running on Wii U. They haven't even
It's
showed us the
true.
NX. We have no idea what the NX looks like yet, and
It's
that's around
true.
the corner. They announced that it's gonna. They didn't talk about it this year at E3 because they were focusing on Legend of Zelda, but they did say that next year we should be looking at getting the NX, which is going to be their high fidelity system. Supposedly, we still have no idea exactly what this thing is, but I don't know. I'm interested. I'm probably gonna buy like second generation of it. Maybe I don't know. We'll have to see what comes all with it.
When it comes to Nintendo stuff nowadays, I tend to wait and buy second generation because there's always some bugs with the first generation.
Yeah. Or you get like in my case when I bought my 3DS, I bought the first gen 3DS the day they were released, and yeah. It dropped like what $200 after its first 2 weeks.
Jeez, man. I have a
Like
2DS, but I haven't. I the games I got, I bought and played and beat them within like months, and I haven't picked it up since.
hmm it I pick it up from time to time. It's my I'm on a plane system. Like
Mm, exactly.
I'm traveling and I'm not the one driving system. So
Exactly.
well, anyway, moving on from E3, we could sit here and talk about E3, probably make an entire podcast about it, but we're gonna move on from that. We had a bunch of news in Overwatch this week. Surprisingly, it didn't feel like we would have that much, but we're gonna go ahead and start off with the patch notes for this week, which we got a nerf for we got a nerf for dang it,
Essentially, the nerf for McCree came out, and the
yeah,
nerf
McCree.
for Widowmaker, and then the blue flames for the Reaper. And I'm sorry, that looks really cool. That looks really cool. I saw it. I was playing with some friends, and I was like, "Oh, Reaper's coming up." Oh wait, that's the new Reaper flame because it's blue. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna die."
But it was also like it doesn't feel like Widowmaker got nerfed at all. If anything, it feels like the good players just got a buff because the good
Yeah,
players are always going for the headshot.
I don't. I played her. I haven't played McCree since the nerf, but I played Widowmaker, and I was like, this set doesn't feel any different than it did before.
Yeah,
I mean, the her scope is, it takes a little bit longer to charge after shooting, but you can still shoot. You're just not guaranteed that headshot, I guess. I don't know. I
it's really weird.
I
I
don't
don't.
feel much of a change with Widowmaker personally.
I can tell the change with McCree a little, but McCree's still like ridiculous at some points, like, especially if you're a flanker or some kind of assault character like Tracer or I mean Tracer's gonna get one shot pretty much by anybody if they or not one shot but 2 to 3 shot, you know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah, Tracers. Yeah.
but like Genji's getting still easy to wipe out. Everybody's pretty still easy to wipe out as McCree, but I mean at least we don't have to worry about tanks getting just chunked extremely hard by McCree now, like they used to be.
Um. Yeah, and they said in the was it not notes, but oh well, it's later. The downloadable content that's coming is going to include, which kind of came out about the same time as the patch notes, but all of that's going to include. It's definitely going to include new characters. It's definitely going to include new maps. And
And we don't know if we're gonna see the end of this month or anything.
right, it didn't give us a definite on the date, but they just it's now, I guess, with the McCree and the Widowmaker buffs, they're like, okay, that's enough. That we'll move on to the next stuff. I guess that's, I don't know, because
So
they said
soon.
the McCree thing was going to happen at the end of this month, and technically it's sort of the end. It's actually more the middle of the month. So I don't know if we're still going to see the downloadable content at the end of the month, or if it's going to be a little
Well,
bit further in the
I
summer.
see that we're only going to get ranked play by the end of this month. It's a little too early to go ahead and get new characters, even though I want new characters and I feel like we should have them. But I still agree that it's a little too early for it.
I
But
agree.
getting into more of the what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I just said I agree.
Yeah. Getting more into the specifics about McCree's changes, though, the recovery time has been decreased from Ooh, from 0.75 seconds to point 0.3, so that's a little bit better. And then the bullet damage, though, it has been decreased from 70 to 45.
Yeah.
So that's a real big change, actually.
That's a pretty big chunk of damage to take off. But I haven't played him, but I've seen him played, and it's not it in the middle of gameplay. It doesn't really. It just affects the tanks essentially. It
Hmm.
affects the tanks. Everybody else will still be taken down by McCree easily.
Yeah, and it does help us a little bit if they don't land all their shots and everything. So it kind of helps everybody around.
Right, you're not, two shots and you're, basically down if you only have 200 health when it was at 70.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think the McCree buff is a better balance for him personally.
And they also are getting more into the Widowmaker changes. Widow's Kiss is the name of her rifle, and the alternate fire is the sniper part. So the base damage has been decreased from 15 to 12. So this is when she's doing her like semi-automatic, full automatic fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's down to 12 damage instead of 15 now because a lot of people were complaining that she was like too easy to go from sniper to recon mode real quick. But her headshot damage multiplier has been increased from 2 times to 2.5 times.
Yeah, and that's what most people use her for anyway.
Yeah.
So that explains why I've been getting headshotted so much.
Yeah. And
uh,
and the play like you said, the players must wait for the unscoping animation completely finished before scoping. So no like in and out, in and out, in and out real quick. You have to wait. And her ultimate infra sight is 10% more now.
I
So those are like the
do
bigger
I
changes.
do like the infrared thing because that is such a huge thing for the
It's
team that, and it did come up a lot, especially if you, because the way the charges work, all you have to do is damage. That's all you have to do, and you get your thing up. So as long as you're, even if you're not killing people, if you're damaging people, you'll get that up really quickly.
mhm.
And uh, her infrared sight really gave a huge advantage for her team, and I mean, that's the whole point of having a Widowmaker. However, it kind of gave too much of an advantage for how, because of how much it would come up.
Yeah. And I mean, they fixed a couple of the bugs as well. They fixed the bug where they allowed Mercy to gain ultimate charge whenever she was boosting an ally that was attacking a wall, ice wall, or barrier, which I didn't even know that was really a thing. Like, I
I didn't
think I
either.
remember vaguely hearing about it, but I never saw it being done, or at least if I did, I guess that explains a lot of why in the first 5 seconds of the match sometimes Mercy would already have her ults.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of an annoying one, and they also fixed the bug that allowed Reaper to get to certain unintended locations on the map.
Yeah. Um,
That's about it. There's not a lot of changes other than that in there. A couple of general, uh, just connection issues fixed, etc., etc.
and it's only for PC. They haven't rolled these debuffs uh, for. They haven't rolled the nerfs out
These
for.
changes in the PS4, Xbox One yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna come in a bigger patch. Probably gonna come with the same. I imagine it's gonna come in the same patch with the ranked play and everything. So
Yeah, because they definitely want to roll all of that out at the same time.
it's really hard to push updates like that for PS4 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I know Sony has a rigid authentication process that takes a really long time for it to go through sometimes. So, which is good, but also annoying for developers. But what are you gonna do? That's that's their thing. Oh, moving on.
So for those of you that are into E3, you probably know Team Splice. They have picked up a North American team uh, for Overwatch. So
hmm,
that means they are now trying to. They picked up. It used to be. They were called something with McCree's name in it. I can't remember anymore because I read it like 2 days ago, and I didn't write it in the notes to remind myself because I was like, oh, I'll remember that. No.
I
Anyway,
think about.
but so they picked up a North American team, and I just found that interesting for the esports fans out there. I'm still reading on esports and still learning esports, so can't give you any more information beyond that.
Hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, and then 10 million players now.
Yeah, we hit 10 million players Tuesday. How
That's
crazy
ridiculous.
is
This game's
that?
going crazy. I see it. I see it getting up there real quick, real fast. Especially just, I don't know. Word of mouth is going to spread hard on this game, and it's going to keep pushing. Especially once the esports starts to pick up, a lot of people are going to start buying more into this game. But what I find interesting is this Chinese FPS ripoff that you found,
That was so ridiculous.
where
It's
Reaper looks
so
like an
bad.
angry businessman.
It's so bad. It is so obvious, but it is just a bad looking game. Like,
It
oh my god, it was, yeah, China, man. They're
But
not
they came
even
out
trying to
they
hide
came out
it.
and said that it's only a tech demo and they weren't like they were just messing around with it. But I don't fully believe that. Like I feel like they were gonna do like a full rip off and they got outed before they could release it.
It's crazy how blatant China is about this game, like with all of the aimbot stuff, the cheating stuff. It's just out there in the open, and it's like, holy crap, man! You guys are just like not even giving any shits.
I gotta link this in chat because I'm looking at it right now and it's really funny. Like uh, it looks like they took it looks like they made this in fucking Counter Strike Source, like for real.
It's crazy. It was, I laughed the as I was reading that article, I just sat there and laughed for like 10 minutes at how ridiculous that is.
And
Oh,
Widowmaker doesn't look any different. It looks like
I
Widowmaker
know.
still. And
I
Pharah
know.
looks exactly the same, and Bastion looks exactly the same. Reinhardt looks like he's from he looks like he's from Final Fantasy 14.
It is so ridiculous. Oh man, I thought that was something really funny to put in there. It's just crazy. Absolutely hilarious.
And Reaper looks like he's from an anime. Like it's really funny.
Oh man.
He's got the little tie and everything.
I
It's a
know.
little ridiculous. Yeah, I saw this coming. Like I knew this would happen eventually, but I gotta be honest. I didn't expect it to be like this soon.
Oh man. Yeah, so China, man. You guys really love Blizzard. You guys
You
love
know what I would do if I were Blizzard? I would take some of their skins and make joke skins out of it.
Oh, that would be so great.
Because they did change a few of the characters a little bit. Like Tracer looks like more of a little boy than anything in this one. It's really weird, but
Even the UI is set up the same. Like it's it's like they just took the game and just like changed a few things to
oh
make it.
yeah, the HUD is exactly the same. Like you still got your ult, you still got your health menus, you got your everything. Everything's the same. It's just in Chinese. That is literally the only thing that is different about the HUD. The maps look horrible, like real bad. Like I said, they look like they were made in an old version of Counter Strike Source, like a real old version of Counter Strike Source.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Oh,
Anyway, um, yeah, the so that's pretty much it for Overwatch. Aside from the downloadable content that should be coming out, hopefully this summer.
I really hope that they keep this steady, like Heroes of the
Oh
Storm steady.
yeah, I was reading their goal is to it's gonna be a steady content thing. They have it's they're not gonna they said that they have content patches into 2017 that
Hmm.
they want to roll out. They have like 15 characters that they want to roll out. They're not going to roll them all out at once,
Yeah.
but they've got 15 characters in the bag. So I mean, that's going to lead us into at least halfway through 2017, if not beyond.
I think I could
So
live with one character a month, and like or like one character 1 month, and then the next month a map, and then a character a map. You know, like space it out. Like as long as there's like something fresh every once in a while, that it'll keep the game going.
I think that would be a great way
Eh,
to do it. I
Yeah,
really
and then
do.
like every year around the anniversary, maybe release two heroes and a map, and then like just as like oh my god, big thing happening. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I think especially with the way like Warlords went, they're
Mhm.
trying to stay away from the no drought situation of the games because you lose interest and you lose people. Um,
I would personally like to see the same kind of implementation that they have in Heroes with the hero leveling. I would love to be able to like just particularly level Junkrat or just particularly level Pharah or just particularly level Reaper, just some other added layer of progression just to keep the game like some kind of motivation other than just the loot boxes. Because right now that's all that we have is the loot boxes.
right. But we will get more, uh, you know, hopefully within the next month.
Hmm.
We'll get a little bit extra.
It'd be
Um,
nice.
so moving to WoW, Warcraft essentially made its money back in China.
Yeah, I'm
Two,
really disappointed.
I'm disappointed in America too, but I
Yeah.
think America they'll make their sales in DVD sales and Blu-ray or DVD sales.
I hope that this is one of those like going against the grain moments where word of mouth gets out about this movie actually being decent, and the second week is better than the first week. But I
I,
doubt that's gonna happen.
I think that if anything, it'll probably take a month or so for it to pick up.
Hmm.
But everybody that has come out of it, even the people that have said it's not the best movie, have all said it's at least an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
They've all said that it is a good movie and it is worth seeing. Even people who are not Warcraft fans have said, I would go back and see that again. That was really entertaining.
and it's a gaming movie, and it's a good gaming movie, which is like insane to think about. I mean, we've had so many horrible game movie adaptations. Like it's
I think with even like 70%, 90% of the money was made overseas. 70% of that was in China.
which
However,
totals at 286.1 million
yeah. So, which I believe that beat out Star Wars: The Force Awakens opening weekend
in China.
in China.
Which it kind of this also sets another worry for me is it's going to be like it was back in the old days of WoW to me in my mind, where Blizzard was only doing promotional material for World of Warcraft in China for a while there, which was really weird. I don't know if you remember that, but like back in BC and Vanilla, and even in the late game Wrath, there were just promotional things that were only happening in China, not happening in America,
Yeah. Yeah, I
like the
remember that in Wrath.
Coca-Cola stuff and the pets that you could only get in China and like all these random events and everything. It was really weird, and I mean, all on them. I'm like, oh, sure, have the events in China, but I'd like at least one event in America to go to, other than BlizzCon every year.
Um, I do remember that in Wrath. I think this is definitely confirmed a sequel. Um, I mean, they
I hope
made too
so.
much money not to do a sequel, and you have so much content with the Warcraft storyline that it wants to be seen.
This
Maybe
is this movie
Americans.
was setting up for a sequel. Like this entire movie was, we're setting up for the sequel. This is just like the beginning. The next part's gonna be amazing. Like you have to have this is like the Spider-Man origin story. Like the first Spider-Man was and the second one was amazing, and the third one we don't talk about.
Well, I mean, even most of the comic book movies actually are that way. Even Thor, like I thought Thor 2 was better than the first one.
Yeah, but Iron Man 1 was amazing.
Yeah, Iron Man kind of
Iron Man
all of the
anything
Iron
is
Man ones were
amazing.
good in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
um
It's Robert Downey Jr. for life. Get Robert Downey in there. Just have him as like a random random character just in there. Like
Robert Downey Jr. could be, oh, what's that blood elf? Johnny Awesome.
no, he could be Kel'Thas. He could totally be Kel'Thas.
There you go. Okay,
Uh,
anyway.
but no, like get him in there. Get him there. Get
Any
Liam Neeson as Uther.
Oh, that would be so great. Oh man. So, testing for the pre-Legion event has started in the PTR yesterday actually, but they were having some issues like you couldn't get the demon hunters weren't working and you couldn't I think they fixed the issues where you could copy your characters over.
And you're
Um
saying this was all in the PTR? Because I missed this. Like I didn't.
Yeah, this was it. This is in the PTR. This is on the public test realm.
So when I look at the PTR, like I check the PTR from time to time, like not go in, but like I just like check the patch notes and everything on it, and it's like, well, PTR world. It still says Warlords of Draenor, even though like when you go to the PTR, like the live version says Legion.
Yeah, and I know, and I've actually seen the gameplay of it because one of the Girls and Girls streamers was actually streaming it last night. I went in to stream it again today. So, and she's not in the beta; she's in the PTR. So, she had it going this afternoon.
This is really
Um,
weird. Like, why? I don't understand why they segmented it to PTR and beta. Like,
I don't
why not
know.
just put it all on PTR now? I mean, we're so close to Legion at this point that I don't see why they don't just roll it into PTR and or open beta.
I don't know either.
Oh, not open beta. Don't do an open beta for an MMO. That's a bad idea, especially WoW. But you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
PTR. Like,
I'm not exactly sure why they did it in the PTR either. I would have thought that would have been something that would have been done
probably
simply in the
stress
beta.
testing it. Like
Possibly.
Encourage is a prime example of this. Back in the day when they first launched Encourage, or the gates of Encourage opening, the lag was palpable. You could like it was like moving through butter. Like it was really bad. It was really bad. And ever since then, that's why we've never had events that have taken place in only one area, because they want the player base to spread out so it doesn't put the load on the server so bad on that one area. It
Miss Killian in the chat said that the beta is really, really glitchy. So that kind of concerns me about, are we really ready for it to be rolled out then?
it's getting up here soon. Like I don't know.
I
I
mean,
hope they
there have
fix a
been
lot
a
of the
lot
glitches.
of complaints about it, so I'm really, I'm a little concerned. I mean, if the beta is not really that ready, then why are we, maybe that's
I
why
have
they
a feeling
chose
that
PTR?
yeah, I have a feeling that they have a bunch of hot fix. I mean, not hot fixes, but a bunch of fixes that they haven't been rolled out yet. Like, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, my faith is in that it's going to be okay. Like the worst launch that we've ever had of anything World of Warcraft or anything Blizzard related is errors where we couldn't connect just because the server load was so heavy.
Yeah, because
Like
everybody goes
this
on at the same time. I mean, that's standard.
that's the biggest like the biggest like game breaking problem we've had. We've never personally ran into anything that's been extremely horrible. So I have
Um,
a little faith that they're gonna polish it out before they send that out. They still have a month and a half, and you can get a lot
yeah.
done in a month and a half, especially when a lot of the framework is laid and most of the gameplay is done. They just gotta polish it now.
Um, yeah, I mean, you're right. They've been doing this for what, 12 years now.
Mm.
They kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. And they
um,
had a dev talk today, but I wasn't able to take part of it. But you were.
I did listen to the dev talk. I didn't listen to all of it because I fell asleep because I was really tired. Um,
I went to bed at 9 a.m. this morning.
but essentially, what really hit me about the dev talk today was they, last year they're like, we want to roll out expansions every year. Obviously, that is not a plausible thing for Warcraft, for WoW.
For
Um,
Blizzard.
yeah, for Blizzard, period. That's not a doable thing. So they've taken that off the table and they said, that's not going to be our goal anymore. Our goal is to keep people interested in the game, meaning we have more
Like
content patches.
Wrath.
Right,
Like Wrath.
exactly, like Wrath. And they're going back to, like, the garrisons, of course, we all know are going away.
Mhm.
However, in order to make money, it's essentially going back to the way it was before, where you have to actually have professions, you have to actually make an effort to create stuff within the game, and in order to do that, at some point, you have to actually be able to go into certain raids to get that extra ending so that you can finish. and complete um, your training for herbalism or mining or
Mhm.
blacksmith or alchemy or anything like that. So it's very similar to the gameplay that was in Wrath, um, which I think is smart because I think that's how people know how to make money in the game.
I I just had to say like a quick thing. Like people have I've heard so many people complaining that they're thinking that class halls are going to be just like garrisons. No, they're not going to be just like garrisons at all. First of all, your garrison was just for you and a small amount of people that you can get in the group. That was it. With class halls, every person that's in your class is going to be in that hall. You're not going to be running around it alone, and there's going to be people like you're going to have your people dancing on mailboxes and blocking your way to the forge with their mount and shit. I mean, you're going to get that community vibe again, so don't worry about that.
I think yeah,
Uh,
it'll be like Dalaran again, but
mm.
instead it's like
And
all
we're getting Dollar.
rogues, or yeah, or all rogues, or all paladins,
Warriors,
all
mage,
whatever.
yeah. And another thing that's really crazy to me is that the way the table is going to work, like the table that was in your garrison, where you would send random followers on this mission, you're still going to send followers out, but this time you have to go help your followers complete that mission, and they help you complete it. It's not going to be your followers go back, and then 6 hours later you get 30 gold and everybody's happy.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I'm personally trying not to look too much into what's happening in Legion because I want to go into it like I went into. I like to go into the new expansions not really knowing a whole lot.
Uh, I remember going into Wrath blind. It was one of the most amazing experiences. Rolling up on boring tundra, like not knowing what was going on, and then just being there, and then like doing it on my Horde faction, and then rolling up into Howling Fjord. Oh, it was amazing.
Howling Fjord was one of my favorite places to quest. Like I really loved Howling Fjord in Northrend.
But on the same coin, like Cataclysm was horrendous. Like it was real bad, real bad.
I know people, Miss Killian in the chat, who like Cataclysm.
Oh,
um,
I like Cataclysm's dungeons, and I like some things about Cataclysm, but the way that they handled everything was just piss poor. Like
I
the raids were good, but the LFR would spawned out of there. LFR looking for raid to me to this day, I still believe killed the WoW community. It's still alive. The WoW community is still there, but it's segmented it so badly, and it's made things so much more toxic than they used to be. It's just. Uh,
yeah, and which is why I do drunk LFR on Tuesday nights because
yeah.
that's the only way you can get through LFR. Because and it just it. I know they went for the casual gaming to try and keep people in, but I think it was the wrong direction. I think what you have to do is you just have to keep content up to date. And that's what's going to keep your people. You're not going to keep those. You're not going to have 12 million people playing WoW anymore. That's not going to. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And that's because life happens, and the bulk of the people that play WoW are now, in their 50s?
Yeah, 30s, 40s, 20s, like late
Uh,
20s.
you are almost 50 years old, sir.
I was too old when I
I was 10 when I started.
But the bulk, okay, all right, they're in their late 30s.
Early
That
30s, I would say. That late 30s is a little
early
pushing
30s.
it.
See, I didn't start playing until BC, so
You have to think this game's 12 years old. So if you started when you were 12 years old, you're 14 now. I mean, you're 24 now. Like it,
yeah,
it's old,
okay.
but it's not like EverQuest. You're not.
Yeah, but at least all the people I know, they're in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah. And
Um,
this was like a big military game. Like if you were playing during Wrath of the Lich King, there were at least on my server. I don't know. Maybe I was on the military server. I have no idea. On my server, there were so many like active duty or like military on there, like on vacation or whatever. When they were on vacation or when they were on leave, they were on there. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I remember my raid groups falling apart because four of our main tanks and two of our healers had to go on the boat for the National Guard.
Yeah, we had a lot of military in our guild too during Wrath as well. Which they've basically grown out of that game because that's roughly when Call of Duty started getting really really popular, and
I got a bunch of people that play
a lot of military play Call of Duty. But anyway, so moving on from that.
Cool
But
down.
I still love WoW, and I will continue playing WoW. I am
Oh, that's what
excited
I've all
about
been doing this
Legion.
week.
Super
All that I've been
excited.
doing this week is prepping for Legion.
Did you read the Tom Chilton and Chris Robinson interview that Kotaku did?
Mm-mm.
So he basically asked him about the legacy server stuff, which they go into, which I'll post it in chat. It's a great interview, and Chilton actually goes into extreme detail as to why these servers are going to be a challenge for Blizzard to create. Because
Mm-hmm.
essentially, they didn't have the backup data thing, so once things were updated, like that was it. That was the new start, essentially. So they don't have exactly what what XP the old bosses used to have. Because they don't have the system that they have
I mean,
now.
what HP in it? Yeah.
So
It,
it's going to create some issues.
yeah.
It also goes into how they're doing the expansions and how they are designed, and really goes into explanation on the problems with the warlords, which my husband and I had the theory that they kind of gave up on warlords because they got so engrossed in Legion. And if you
Mm-hmm.
read this article, that's kind of what they hint to it. They gave up on warlords because the garrisons kind of didn't do what they were expecting them to do. And they had no idea for content after that because they had put so much in Legion, and Legion took longer than they had expected to come out because they wanted Legion to come out sooner than where it's coming out now. And because of that, there was no content between the last content patch and now, which is why there's such a huge dry patch. Which is why they're changing their system to actually say, okay, we're going to keep throwing out content patches up until the next expansion. So it's a really, really good article. I highly recommend. They also go into like actual development of World of Warcraft and how they develop stuff. And the things that they have been wanting to put in Blizzard for a long, long time. Apparently, there's a boat. They wanted to have like a thing where people are on a ship-oriented expansion since the beginning of time. But it's clearly not doable. But
Yeah,
that's a
I
running
really
joke.
don't want boat exploration. That does not sound fun to me. I don't like the thought of like, here is the open ocean. Like the two extremes of that sound horrible to me. One extreme is there's nobody doing it, and I'm just out there on a little pontoon boat by myself.
I'm on a
The
boat.
the other extreme where everybody's doing it and there's 10,000 boats in a harbor sounds horrible.
Yeah. So I don't know that that's ever going to happen, but that's one of the things that they would love to do. But they have they're still working on the next two expansions. Like they have expansions still in the works. So Blizzard, for those of you who keep saying that WoW is dying, WoW is dying, WoW is not dying. WoW is not dying. Blizzard expects to keep rolling out expansions for WoW.
Blizzard's not gonna die. I mean, Blizzard. WoW's not gonna die until they go under 1 million subs. Is what I would think. Like under 1
Uh,
million subs.
And then it'll probably go to like
Free
an
to play.
yeah, an EverQuest thing where they don't roll out as much as they used to, and they minimize everybody. But they have like 236 people on working on Legion right now, according to that article. So it's not going away anytime
Mhm.
soon, guys. So be happy.
The WoW is dead. Heralds can go away for a little bit.
Anyway, that's all I had to say about WoW.
And that's all I gotta say about that. Mama said that Gul'dan has been confirmed for Heroes.
Yeah, Gul'dan is coming to Heroes of the Storm. He was in the Medivh
Trailer.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very end. It's actually a really cool looking trailer. Medivh looks way cooler to play than Chromie. Sorry, guys.
But he's always gonna be look cooler. Look cooler. He's edgy. He's an
Medivh
edgy,
looks.
angsty teenager.
He looks. Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe him. That is the perfect way to describe Medivh. He is totally an angsty teenager. But
I
he
mean,
looks
wouldn't
super
you be
cool.
if you had like Sargeras in you, like from birth?
Yeah, and then you like disappear for what is it, like 10 years? Like you were in a coma for like 10 years, and you
Yeah.
come out of it and you're like,
Oh,
oh,
good.
I am no longer 12? What? Yeah. So that'll be exciting. I don't know when Gul'dan is going to roll out. I think it's going to be next month.
Yeah, probably next month is a good guess. I don't. They just released 2 Heroes, so I don't see it real quick coming out. But I mean, hey, it's gonna be Gul'dan. I I hope I hope that we get to suck the life out of something and breathe it into somebody else. I'm not gonna say what that's from. Just if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
Oh man. All right. And I missed this last week. I didn't see this little piece of information, but Cloud9 has completely disbanded their Heroes team because
Which is
apparently they're just not doing well, and Heroes is just not doing well in the esports world itself. Like it's not creating money. No one's interested in it. Which is sad because I know that Blizzard really wants to get into the esports world.
I don't see this going away. I see this like one person being like just like there's just not enough to keep us here at the moment. Like they still haven't even run out. I mean, Blizzard's failing hard because they have not rolled out competitive play. Like they've rolled out competitive, but they haven't rolled out the full rank. They just now did. Like they just released the full competitive. Like
I
it.
I think it's because they don't know which direction to go in that whole thing.
Mhm.
So it's
And they need to make up their
creating.
mind now.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to please everybody. You're not. You're never going to please everybody. But you have to make a standard and you have to stick with that standard. And that way everybody can learn, okay, how do I adjust to this? And then we can move on and do competitive play and do the ranked play. And I can get on with my life because I want to play ranked and play competitive in Overwatch.
Overwatch to the rest.
Oh.
Overwatch.
Oh,
Oh
I'm so
god.
obsessed with
So
this game.
yeah, it competitive play hopefully soon on both fronts that they both improve and they both get better and one of them releases and one of them continues to keep getting better. I see that like Cloud9 disbanded now, but I see them coming back later on. They're such like a big name, like everybody knew Cloud9 and Heroes, so I don't
A lot of the
see
reason
it
why they
being
disbanded is
forever.
because they weren't making it to. They were not able to actually. They did so well last year, but for some reason they haven't been able to make it past certain points in tournaments and stuff, and they just, for some reason, they're not playing well right now.
It's because everybody else, like they've been playing since like closed beta, and last year it was a bunch of people who had only been playing since beta, and then like everyone was still getting adjusting to the game. So like I don't mean to like knock them, but
They're not
like
the best anymore.
yeah, it happens. Like
It does. So
that's competition.
they'll probably reestablish with new players later on down the line.
Yeah, I just you get like that's the thing with competitive gaming. You get tired of it after a while.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So we should probably move on to what most people are probably here for, which is our
Farah,
assessment of Farah.
Ferreira Aman, age 32, height. She's 5'11".
She's teeny.
No, that's about six
Oh wait,
foot.
no, she's tall. Sorry.
She's not teeny. She's not 5'1".
I'm thinking. I thought you said 5'1", and then I was like, no, he said 11, not 1.
She's the security chief over at Helix Security International. Basically, Helix right now, from what I understand or what we understand about them, is they're a security firm that is an artificial keeping defense of an artificial intelligence research facility, and they are overwatching. Oh my god, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to do that. But they're watching over. They're watching over the AI Anubis. And in the comic book, we see that he escapes, and her team is dispatched to go fight it. Her captain gets killed essentially, and she becomes the new captain. And she learns through combat that she needs to defend her fellow soldiers, and that she needs to lead them in a certain way and keep their morale up for them to work right. She needs to treat them more like a family and less like soldiers.
It's
And
a
that's
good.
what she learns to that. She learns what her mother knew, but
Yeah,
she had not yet herself learned.
it's a good comic book, and it's. I think wasn't Helix the company that Roadhog and Junkrat were hired by to go and destroy the quote unquote Omnics? Isn't that the company?
Ooh, I think so, yeah. I think they
So they're not really good people.
um
Because they wanted Junkrat and Roadhog. Now I have to open up that.
I've got it. Go ahead and keep
Okay,
talking about it.
they wanted because the head of the company wanted Junkrat and Roadhog to go and destroy, but they weren't Omnics. They were
That's
actual
I'm thinking.
Helix AIs, um, and which are supposed to be the good robots, not the bad
Mm-hmm.
robots. Um, so and the guy he wanted them to kill it so that he could have some extra time or whatever. He's crooked. So I think
Yeah,
it was Helix.
they were going up. It was the one they wanted to destroy was called Hyde Global.
Oh,
Is the one
okay.
they wanted them to destroy. And as far as the company that hires them, I don't think their name was really ever mentioned. I'm
Okay.
trying to look for right now.
All right. I was thinking it was Helix, but maybe not. So
I,
there seems to be a lot of AI companies within the world of Overwatch.
yeah, that company was called Axiom.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, the
Cool.
company that hired them was called Axiom. I was like, I don't think Helix had anything to. Helix is primarily in Egypt, and Helix isn't the name of the company that's the AI. They're the security that's watching over the AI.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. You had me confused for a minute. I was like, wait, no, what?
I knew that there was an H somewhere in the Roadhog Junkrat
hmm
thing. I just combined the two names. Okay.
Yeah, basically it's another opposing AI company or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. But the top secret, like in this comic, one of the AIs breaks out. How it breaks out, I'm not sure how an AI breaks out, but it did.
I think
And it was taking control over other operating systems and other robots that were in their facility. So their own robots, security robots, were turning against them, so that they had to fight back all the way through and get to the AI itself and take it down.
yeah, it was essentially a Cyberman,
Mm-hmm.
like in Doctor Who. For all the Doctor Who fans out there,
Mm-hmm.
how Cybermen work.
You.
Anyway.
Alrighty, so going on to her abilities. Her first ability is the ability to fly and hover and just all around coolness. You hold down space, you hover up in the air, and if you time it just right, you hover, 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 hover.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it.
It moves real slow.
It
Don't do
does.
it. Don't do it. You'll get sniped out of the air real easy. Don't have too much fun. No fun allowed. Sign.
uh,
Her main ability, the rocket launcher, is really cool.
and it's essentially it's a rocket launcher. It
Yep.
has a splash damage, so
120 damage if you hit them directly,
mhm.
and then it degrades depending on how far away the blast was, and it's really hard to tell you like the math behind that. So I'm like, there's a I'm looking at one and I'm like, nah, I'm not even gonna try.
She can damage herself with her rocket launcher.
Yep, just like Junkrat.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's she doesn't have a headshot on it or anything like that. It's just a direct rocket hit.
counts as
Um,
a headshot pretty much anyway.
yeah. So I mean, it does a lot of damage, and the rocket launcher is also a knockback. So
Which it's good and also kind of annoying.
keep that in
especially like
mind.
especially if you hit them on the side and you knock them to the side and you're like, oh, now I gotta do this. But if you're good at leading the shot, then you'll do good with her. I'm not good with her. Her rockets move too slow for me, and like I don't know. I'm more of a Junkrat player. I like the delayed explosion and then like explode directly if it hits them kind of thing. It's really nice to me in that regard. I've never been more a fan of like rocket launcher characters for some reason. It's just they're
She's
cool. It's
she's
fun.
not too difficult to play. She's one of the easier ones to pick up. So if you are new to Overwatch, I would recommend playing with her because of the fact that the splash damage has such a huge radius. So you can learn to aim with her, and
Hmm.
she has that easy maneuverability. It's a lot easier to get out of the way with her jump jet and her hover if if you really need to get out of something.
Yeah,
Um,
and the concussive blast is really nice too, especially if you want to knock somebody off the edge of a map. If you can aim it just right on, like, say I'm blanking on the map name. You know what it is, the
the
one with the
well,
pit in the middle.
Ilios.
Yeah, Ilios.
Yeah.
On Ilios, when you got the little building that's in the middle with the basically five entrances, one big one in the front, two sides, one window in the back, and then at the top there's a skylight that somebody can come through that nobody ever looks up at.
Yep.
So, like, if you can catch them right between that door and just the cliff, you can knock them off completely.
Um,
And that's a good thing with Lucio too.
I love Lucio for that fact,
Yeah.
but we're discussing Pharah. I could give you some good Lucio tips because I love Lucio. um,
And then her jump jet is like what you're using primarily to get up in the air for the first time, and then you use your hover to keep and stay in the air.
mhm.
It it has a 10-second cooldown. It launches you in the air pretty high, actually. It's really fun. You can use it to get to certain places that other heroes can, unless you're like Widowmaker or there's certain places that she can get that other players can't. And if you're playing like on arcade mode, her jump jet is just like you can reach the skybox ceiling real easy, and you just hover up there.
Yeah, I like that for the maneuverability things there because it really helps her get out of sticky situations.
It's
Um,
it's really nice. It's just like a oh shit button, really. But if they know what you're about to do, they can catch you, especially if there's a ceiling above you. It's not good. Never go in anywhere with a ceiling as far because oof, you've
um,
only got 200 health.
yeah, yeah, she's medium as far as her health goes. She doesn't, so I mean, she can be taken out quickly, especially by a McCree if he's near her. Her ultimate is a rocket barrage. However, she can be taken down really easy in the middle of that ultimate
Yeah,
because she
she's
doesn't move.
yeah.
Uh,
It's just kind of annoying. Like I wish that she had some. Not. I'm not. I don't want her to have the extreme movement of her jump jet or anything. But if she could just like list a little bit lazily to the side, one way or
yeah,
the other.
yeah, just give her some kind of access to move just a little bit to try and keep from getting hit.
Especially headshots from a sniper, like really easy to take
Yeah.
her down. Now to keep in mind is this is she does 30 rounds per second, so that's 30 rockets per second. Each rocket does 50 damage, and it's a 3 second duration, so you can get out basically 90 shots in 3 seconds. But yeah, the further you are away, the less damage you're gonna do because you're not gonna be able to concentrate your rockets on one person, and they're kind of random scatter fire, and they're not gonna all land perfectly within your reticle. It's not gonna work that way.
Right, exactly. So it's, you can take out the whole team with her rocket barrage, or you cannot hit anyone. So you have to time it. Like with any ult, you have to time it right.
Hallways are amazing for this.
Yeah. Yeah. That because people cannot get out of the way.
Mhm.
I think she's one of the more balanced players. Actually, I think. I don't think her rockets do too much damage. Because they don't complete, even with a direct hit, they don't take you out completely unless you have only 100. Most people have 150 health. So it will
200 health.
yeah, okay. Even like Tracer and Zenyatta, who are squishy and they only have 150 health, she still has to shoot them at least twice to kill them, even if it's a direct hit, because that rocket is only 120. So she's not going to take you out with one shot.
And her ultimate, like we were saying, you had to hit 3 of those rockets on a Tracer to kill her, and
Yeah,
even more on anybody else.
exactly. So I think that she is a well-balanced player. I think that you can play her really, really badly, or you can play her really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she does well even for the medium, even for the people who are not the greatest with her, but who are okay, like me. I'm okay with Pharah, and I still do pretty decently. I've been up on the boards for how many like rocket hits I've had and stuff like that. So I think she's one of the better balanced players in the game, and she's definitely one of the players that the learning curve is not so bad with her as far as learning how to play her. I think that she is one of my favorite characters in that respect, because I think they really, really did well with Pharah. I really do.
Yeah, they did a real good balance with her, and I can't really complain too much about it. She doesn't feel too overpowered. Yeah, she can be frustrating when she headshot like hits you directly with a rocket. And you're like, yeah, I can't even be mad.
Yeah, you're like, I gotta find health. Oh crap, she hit me again. I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I have a little bit of time. Let me see if I can find health. But like, again, you gotta be able to get that direct shot. So.
Yeah, and it's really hard to get that direct shot sometimes. It's it's interesting. It really is. That just the combination of moves. I guess what I'm trying to say is like I've seen some really, really cool combos with her. Basically, her knockback, knock him to the left into the other, like knock a Zenyatta over into a tracer, and then fire your rocket right at the tracer and hit both of them and take them both out because they're already low health. Like it, the things that you can do with her are good if you know what to do. Like with all characters, she can be she can be a linchpin as well. She can be that one character that can get up in there and take out the Bastion real quick, because if she's not noticed right away by the Bastion, but usually she's going to be shot out of the air pretty quick. Like her mortal enemy to me is Torbjorn, just because auto fire.
Oh God, yeah. And anyone who has like a decent ranged weapon, Roadhog, for example, can hook her out of the sky. Widowmaker her gun has a really long range, and because Pharah does a lot of stuff from the distance, just like
Mhm.
Widowmaker can take her out quickly. Soldier 76 is another one that can take her out fairly well, because his gun, he has a pretty solid range on his gun.
Especially if you burst. If you burst, it's like bap, 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 like 3 shot bursts, and you're never gonna miss. It's like it's spot on. And his little helix rockets that he can fire out, like the helix of 3 missiles that fire out of his gun, they hit pretty hard too, and they can take out a bastion that's sitting in pretty hard, just like you could with a well, if you're Pharah, you can take out a bastion real easy, but you also have to get around in a spot that's not noticed. So you're going to be doing the Widowmaker thing as far, which just sounds really weird, where you're trying to get somewhere where you're not noticed so that you can take them out, you know? Like,
Yeah, hold up. What are you doing? What?
wait, you can see my Skype?
OBS is doing really weird. Like, I don't know what's going on with the Skype. Go away. Crap. Hold up. I don't know what it's doing.
Just cut my end then.
Hold up. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Let's see if we can fix this. Yay!
Oh,
there we go. Alright.
I was about to say, we're almost to the end anyway.
We are almost to the end, but that was really gonna bug the shit out of me if I didn't fix it. Okay. Alright, we're good now. Sorry about that, guys.
It happens.
So McCree, of course, his flashbang, if you can get close enough to her, he's gonna do really well against her. And Genji can, do his deflex and stuff like that. I mean, he's just really great with his deflection. So she has some really good counters, just like anybody. They all have really good counters. But she, again, like I said, she's a really, really well balanced.
Yeah, I think she's probably one of the most balanced we have. Not my fault. Don't blame me. Anyway, going on. She has some really cool skins. She's one of the few heroes that has the origin skins. One of the origin skins, and she has the security chief skin, and it's really cool. I like that one. Mm-hmm. And I'd have to say my favorite skin of hers is the Thunderbird one, the one that's like with the red and white and the like the red makeup on her face and everything. It's really cool, and like the eagle mask. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one that's more like a Native American eagle head instead of an actual Egyptian eagle head. Mm-hmm. Come on, Blizzard. No, it is a cool skin, regardless of the fact that it's like the wrong ethnicity.
Yeah, and then she has the Gundam ones.
Yeah.
She has like straight up Gundam ones.
Yeah, her skins are definitely some of the more cool skins. And sorry, my husband's in the background fussing at the dogs. Sorry about that.
It's
okay. Don't disconnect me, dog. All right.
Anyway, after that, we'll keep on moving. She has a lot of cool skins, a lot of cool like just trivia and other things. It's really cool. I like what they're doing with the skins. I hope they keep going with more interesting skins. The like even funny ones. Just like it. It's good to have a little bit of humor in the game when you see someone running around as basically just a joker. Like it's really funny. Like it. I like seeing the what's the skin on Widowmaker, like the burlesque one's like really funny to me because it's like who would wear that as a camo, you know?
I have the Comtesse one for Widowmaker where she kind of looks like a vampire.
Yeah.
I think that those are really cool. I like her skins too.
I want the balance of cool and funny. Like I want cool and funny skins, like kind of like the Asmodunk skin that they have for Asmodan in Heroes of the Storm that started from the meme. Like I want that. I want more of that. That'd be amazing.
Is that the basketball one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one where like if you use his global his ball ability, it does the.
Yeah, that's a funny skin. I like that skin.
I definitely want to see more of that. I want to see more of the Blizzard flair with pop culture references and everything. I love that about Blizzards. They're not afraid to throw some pop culture in there.
Yeah, I think it keeps it interesting, and I think we can. I think because it does well with heroes, I think we'll definitely see it here in Overwatch as well.
And it basically, especially since it's based off of not America, off of Earth. Like with all locations are vaguely based on real lake locations.
Yeah, it's not made up. It's Egypt. It's not like a real city in Egypt, but it's Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. But
Anyway,
that's all I've got for Pharah. I mean, she's a well-balanced player. She doesn't have any. I don't have any specific tricks because I'm not the greatest with her. She's pretty straightforward. She's actually one of those players that's pretty straightforward, which makes her one of the better players to start off with and play.
And that's it for Pharah. Next week we're gonna have Torbjorn, and we're gonna have a special guest. From the chat. We're gonna have Papa Twan, Wicked Broner over there. He's gonna be on here talking Torbjorn because he's one of the best Torbjorn players I know. He's
Awesome.
Torbjorn sniper for days.
Awesome. That's awesome. That'll be really, really exciting. He's also one of our patrons, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of our first patrons.
Yeah, so I got to give him a shout out for that. Thank you for that. And yeah, so we'll be excited to get him on and listen to his opinions.
And if you want to check him out on his channel, he has a Twitch at twitch.tv/W1CK3DBR0N3R. Just check him out over there. He's really funny, and it's kind of cool to hang out with him from time to time and hear what he has to say about everything. Well, this has been the Omnic Fallout, a podcast about Overwatch and probably other Blizzard things. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at theomnicfallout@gmail.com. You can follow us at Uniedge on Twitter at XAUVE at Zov, or Nymphadora at Gamer Nymphadora, GAMERNYMPHODORA. You need a shorter one.
I know. If you would like, before I do my closing statement, I want to let you guys know that I have a new podcast starting up that will be back here. That will be on Sunday over at the Girl Streamers. We're going to start doing podcasts for the Girl Streamers. So that'll be really exciting. And tonight, I'm doing a stream after the show for my birthday, because today is my birthday. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be streaming some Overwatch. So if people want to hang out and play with me, I'm going to take a break for about 30 minutes and then come back and stream some Overwatch.
And happy birthday once again.
Thank you. You were actually one of the first people to tell me happy birthday this morning. I was like, oh my god, you remember it. Thank you so much. So if you would like to donate to us, you can use the links down below in the Twitch channel, or you can go to the Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Game Time with Nymphadora, and Nymphadora is spelled with an O, not an A. NYMPHODORA. But your donations do go to the podcast. We really appreciate everything. I am going to BlizzCon this year, guys. I am really excited about that. So I will see you guys there. And thank you for joining us. And I can't wait to meet my co-host. And we hope to see you guys next week for our episode on Torbjorn.
Y'all have a good one.